continuation of the previous file. There's 2 minutes left on audio file number 55. When this video card reaches, each video can only be 29 minutes long and then it stops, okay? It stops recording. So this is a continuation of what's at the tail end of the previous video file, and that video file is a YouTube file now, a YouTube video, and that YouTube video title can be found in the description of this YouTube video. And this is the last 2 minutes of file 55 in reference to being in Rouse on 5/15/2013. You can see it's still that audio file. Look up! There you go. Okay, I apologize that the very last 2 minutes of this audio file 55 was cut off. Okay, from the concerning the previous video, and that video is in the description of this YouTube video. Go to it, because you're not gonna just believe the proof that is there, wide open in your face. You know, I'm not the best at making videos. I'm just an average person who has been selected and targeted to be a victim of this crime as a result of who my parents were connected to. They were very, very high upper middle class with military connections. And, you know, when you hear that, you might think to yourself, this woman's probably never going to be able to get any help because of the simple fact, and which is a high probability I might not be able to, because these individuals, let me tell you something, I've investigated the connections to this crime in reference to how far down the rabbit hole this crime goes. And the technological resources that are utilized against organized gang stalking targets did come from the military. Now, when you look at the factual reality of this book right here, Electronic Torture, Electronic Rape, Technology and Gang Stalking at the Post Office, by this is not the real author's name. It's just a fake name to keep her real identity a secret. What she describes in this book right here, okay, is also described by a fellow California target who used to live in San Diego, right there. Her name is Victoria Rose. It's a documentation file. Her location was San Diego, California, Chula Vista. Remote neural monitoring is right below her location, and everything that she describes in this documentation file is described by this person this woman who is an employee at the post office who was subjected to the same remote neural monitoring torture. Okay? Now, the technology that is mentioned in this book is directly also as well mentioned in this book and the documentation file of Victoria Rose wrote. Okay? She's a fellow San Diego target. I don't know if she's still living in California now or not. I think she moved on to Oregon or something. Michael Fitzhugh Bell was covered on Coast to Coast with George Norrie and Roger Tulsis on 2/14/13. And that can be YouTubed in order to listen to the entire thing. And the only way you're going to be able to thoroughly understand everything that Michael Bell describes on the Coast to Coast interview and in this book is to look at the bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance's webpage. On the very, very, very bottom is 3 PDF links. Once you go to those 3 PDF links, open them up, print them out, read what's in them, and then cross-reference to the statements to this book. And you'll clearly be able to see that what is happening to him and practically every other target is described in this book. Gang stalking and organized stalking is mentioned all throughout this book. So, what I do, and I mean, he just flat out mentions it. Now, you got to go see in the first video that's in the description of description of this YouTube video. If Mike Fitzhugh Bell flat out states that he predicts behavior patterns and then catches what he predicts on tape. He then, on tape, using a digital video camera. Caught on tape should be immediately reported to local police and or saved for record, or better yet, posted on the internet. And that's what I do. I predict what I'm going to experience along my route in order to be able to prove what's happening to me is being managed by a third party. Go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass. Look in the description of that YouTube video to see a video of me talking about what I caught 3 teenagers admitting to. I was at a bus stop and I was describing what I was putting up with along all my routes. Okay, in early December 2011. Then and that video is in the description of that YouTube video. Okay, and then on January 28, 2012, I caught 3 teenagers admitting they were put on a bus route to do exactly what I was already describing online. Yeah. Then go to YouTube and type in 2/20/13, 2/20/13, Learning Disabled Woman Catches Another Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass. And that was an individual who was put on a corner by a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve to engage in gang stalking towards me. Now, I can get no help. Because what these criminals are doing, they're in the system. And so what they're going to do is they're going to try and paint me as being crazy. Okay? Now, I'm going to help you understand something. The video that's in the description of this YouTube video was caught at Ralph's, CVS, and I've also had numerous, I have over 500 audio files of the same exact tactic being utilized towards me along all my routes, even in destinations that are 167 miles away from San Diego County, when I went out to Yucca Valley, California for 1 week in early December. Yes, everything I predicted I'd experience out there once I got out there happened, and it was all caught in video and audio, and it was the same exact method. This organized harassment is crafted to be put around me as a result of the tracking of me, and part of that is achieved through my cell phone. And what they do is basically use what is known as the community notification, which is a law enforcement tool. And through the tracking of where they know where I'm at, whether I'm stationary or mobile, they then use the computer in reference to, see, these people have power positions in the community, so they can influence any type of civic group, church groups, people on probation, people on parole, fraternities, sorority members. I've been gang stalked along every single one of my routes ever since I got back to San Diego for the first time since 2006, when I was out here between 1 and 37 days on August 8, 2011. So how did they know I came back here? I have deliberately and intentionally made sure that I have not developed one relationship, friendship, intimate relationship, or anything with anybody since I got back here. Since August 8, 2011, because I wanted to make sure that they could never use any excuse to say that, well, this is happening to you because of who you got involved in, or because of who you know, or because who they know that you know, okay? I did not want to give the San Diego police any hooks for their plausible deniability, okay? Now, I was making videos months and months and months prior to me catching that young man who was on the corner on 2/20/13 admitting that a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve put him on the corner to engage in gang stalking. Okay? I caught him flat out. And videos were being made a year and a half prior concerning about me exposing what the San Diego police did in 2006 towards me when I was out here. How did they know I came back to San Diego? Because I was stalked from Connecticut to San Diego and stalked to Connecticut from Michigan. Yeah, and I was stalked to Michigan back from San Diego from 2006. I have literally been gang stalked and harassed and tortured on a feverish scale every single day along all of my routes. You would not believe the unconscionable crimes that have happened towards me as a result of this organized stalking expedition. And I'm here today, fellow American citizens, to tell you the truth. Ralph's Grocery Store in Villa La Jolla Plaza and the Island Restaurant that is in the same parking lot of Villa La Jolla Plaza is using their employees, their management, and they are using the security guards of that plaza. Because what you got to do is you got to look at it this way. That Ralph's Grocery Store and that Island Restaurant is on one set of property. That property owner is leasing those buildings to Ralph's and to the Island Restaurant. He's not going to want to take legal, liable culpability as a result of felonious criminal activity happening on his property by people who are renting his property. So what he's doing, or what they're doing, is they're paying off the security firm that they hired to patrol this parking lot to make sure cars aren't broken into or whatever. He's using them in a tag teaming fashion, and also the Ralph's management is as well. They use each other in a tag teaming fashion to make it appear to either harass you, or once they stage an incident towards you, they will stage an incident and then stage the witnesses and then use security to ban you. So that way they can just feel like they can wash their hands of me in reference to what they did to me over there. Yeah, while discrediting me on paper as a result of the incident unfolding and them being called. Yeah, I have been gaslighted by their security over there like you would not believe. They deliberately and intentionally ride by me and walk by me and go like this. Or go like that. Today when I was in Ralph's, a Ralph's employee just made sure she went out of her way to stand 1 foot away from me, and while she was just doing this. And that's exactly what the 3 teenagers admitted to. See, I had a digital tape recorder attached to my pouch on my bra, and the microphone was like this. And when they got off the bus behind me on January 28, 2012, and I noticed it was them, I said, well, aren't you the 3 teenagers that were on the bus earlier today? And they said, yeah. And I go, well, what's up with you guys putting your hands to your face like that? I go, what's up with that? And they started laughing. I go, did somebody get you to do that? And they go, yeah. And I go, well, who was it, a stranger? They go, yeah. And I go, well, what was his name? They go, Jamar. Somebody I don't even know. And how did they know I was on that bus? Ah. And they admitted to what I was already describing I was putting up with along all my routes, including at USD. And there's a previous video that was made a month before the December 5th video that was made, showing me explaining what I was putting up with along all my routes. And that video is in the description of the learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting sent to harass. Look at both the published dates in reference to what I was saying and what they admitted to. And then there's another video that was made a month before that on USD property, me stating that I was putting up with that same behavior by USD library staff and students. So basically all they're doing is harassing me everywhere I go and then staging events to ban me, using their paid-for little lackeys, their little mall cops. And all this cooperation is achieved through what is known as the community notification. Go to Google and type in gang stalking or organized stalking in the community notification. It's a law enforcement tool. And what they're doing is criminally and illegally using it to wear victims down and out, because their whole goal at the end of the day is human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, Medicare fraud, and co-opting people on disability like me. They try to co-opt our finances by trying to make us a ward of the state and putting us in a syndicated-run group home so they can take over my monthly checks, exploit my Medicare insurance inside these homes, and exploit me sexually. I've already seen it happen to other people in another state, and they operate in the same methods and templates in each state. This crime is going on a feverish scale in every single state. There's hundreds of petitions all over the internet with thousands of signatures on them. There's military petitions online concerning these crimes. And all the public officials in every state have been notified by each target, and they're not doing one damn thing to help nobody. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. So I basically have been doing what Mike Fitzhugh-Bell said you should do. And this book just came out. Page 124, Predicted Behaviors Caught. I've been doing this for years now, and you would not believe the huge amount of proof that I got. Any predicted behavior patterns caught on tape, okay? Any caught on tape should be immediately reported to local police and or saved for record, or better yet, posted on the internet. And if you want to see the proof, look in the description of this YouTube video for just today's proof alone. And what you witness in that video is what I experience along every single route, every single day, for the whole duration of while I'm at any place I go. It's said around me constantly and repeatedly, and in the ways I predict they're going to say it too. It's a clever way to make a person feel stalked. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, please look in the description of this YouTube video. I got to go. Today's date is 5/15/2000.